Even the shot. Yeah. Okay.
They had some really weird combinations there too, like
Oh, yeah?
hummus and beet.
Ew, hummus and beet. Okay, we're on. Who's here? Laura's here. Hi, Laura. Happy New Year to you all, too. Anita's here. Hi, Anita. And we'll just wait here a couple of seconds, see who else joins us. We're having healthy appetizers this evening. Carrots, celery.
We did last weekend too.
Oh, yeah. And hummus. And of course, we're getting our fruit serving in. One of Walter's fruity concoctions. And we'll see who else is joining us. I'm a little tired out. I just got home from my art journal class. I'm not sitting on my chair right.
Well, how are you sitting on your chair?
Wrong. Okay. Well, let's just see who else is here. So we've got Laura, we've got Anita. There's others lurking. That probably made a noise. Anita says, yes, there was a lot of food around the holidays. And that's why we're all feeling stuffed, and why today we're going to talk about diets and losing weight and what people do to do that. Because we're on...
Well, I've always been sort of on a diet. You're on a new diet.
Yeah, well, we'll see how this one works. But we'll talk more about that shortly. So, well, other people will probably join in soon. Whatever. We are on an hour later than usual. Of course, that happens once a month because of my art journaling class, which doesn't finish up until about 3:30, quarter to 4. And so by the time I get home, it's got to have some time set up. Okay, so what's been happening? Well, my mother, yeah, same old, same old. Tried to call her just before we went on air. She didn't answer, again, as usual. So, in fact, I got a call from a woman who used to live next door to my parents. And they moved out to the East Coast back a few years ago. But every time they come in to visit relatives or that in Ontario, they often go over and at least give my mother a call or go over and visit with her, which is very nice of them. Hi, Cindy. And so I get this phone call last week from this lady saying, you know, is your mother still in the same place? What she's really saying is, your mother dead? And I said, oh no, she's living in the same place and whatnot. And she says, well, I've been trying to call her and I'm not getting an answer. And I says, not unusual. Welcome to the club. I said, if that phone isn't in her hand when you call, she doesn't pick it up. Which I felt bad for this lady because, you know, she's making this effort and everything. And my mother's just not answering the phone. So I said to her, well, the next time I'm talking to my mother or when I see her, I said, I'll let her know that you were trying to get a hold of her if you don't get a hold of her. And that kind of thing. Of course, I said she doesn't pick up the phone when I call either. So that may take a while. Whatever. Hi, Kathy. So anyways, yeah, I haven't talked to her actually. I haven't talked to her all week. We went over on Tuesday, as we usually do. And haven't talked to her, so there's nothing to talk to her about anyways.
And she really doesn't have anything new to tell her.
No.
But you never know.
Hi, Linaire. Happy New Year to you, too.
Yeah, Happy New Year, everybody.
So, anyways, so let's talk about, that's next thing. What did we do for New Year's Eve? Nothing. Well, we had a nice dinner. Walter did a couple of steaks in the sous vide. We did look for lobster tails, and we were talking about that last week, but
couldn't find anything we liked, so.
Well, really, all we could find was like lobster tails that were frozen, and you got 2 of them for $15, and they were like 2-bite lobster tails. And we'd need about 4 of them, like 2 packages of 2, and $30 for what? For 2 bites. So we decided, screw that idea. And then we had some wine, and then we went out and sat in the hot tub for a while, and then we came back in and turned on the TV to watch the festivities in Toronto at City Hall, because every year they have something going on there. They usually have performers and they have fireworks and all this kind of stuff. Well, when I turned on the local television network for that broadcasts that stuff,
Called City TV Toronto.
yeah, City TV Toronto, they switched right over to Dick Clark's Rockin' New Year's Eve, and he's dead, in New York City in Times Square. Nothing about what was going on in Toronto. The only way I saw what was going on in Toronto was to go to YouTube. And somebody was streaming the fireworks there, but it didn't look like they had any performers this year or anything. And that's always been a big event. We've never been to it because, my God, it's a zoo. But I just thought, well, that's really kind of weird. But then if you go through YouTube and watch the fireworks displays like in Auckland, New Zealand, in Sydney, Australia, in Singapore, Taipei, Dubai, China, Japan, Paris, England, they all have spectacular displays. Then you hit Toronto, and it was like two old lady fingers, poof, okay, that was fireworks. Well, there was a little bit more than that, but it wasn't much in comparison to what...
They always complain they never have a budget for anything.
So, it's kind of sad.
It says Laura got M&M lobster skewers. Oh, she says don't waste your money on those.
Well, so in the shell. Okay, we wondered about those because we looked at them online, and I think they were like, for a box of them, $24.99, and I didn't know how many you got in a box. But first of all, they're sticking them on skewers, so it makes you kind of wonder, like, what are they, lobster tail pieces or what? So
Actually, I think they did fireworks in Australia because they planned for it like 15 months in
yeah, 15
advance.
months ago they did.
And the other thing is that they get thousands and thousands of tourists there. They go there just for the fireworks.
We know because we were one of those tourists that were there.
In 2017.
Yeah, in 2017. But yeah, they did come under a lot of criticism because of the forest fires and the whole bit. And they said, well, that money should be used to support that. But what they said was they've already spent that budget because they plan it 15 months in advance for their display. But they did give $650 million towards the firefighting from this as well. So, I mean, what can you do?
I mean, a big part of their tourism is
Hi, Mel.
is the fireworks
Hi, Bonnie.
display at New Year's.
Yeah.
So it's a half a dozen one, half dozen other. Yeah, it's not great that it's.
Yeah. So Laura says those M&M things are half shell on the skewers, but they were really crayfish, not lobster.
You know what's interesting about crayfish? When we were in Australia, in
Yeah.
Western Australia, they have a type of lobster that they actually call crayfish, but they're actually lobster size. They're big.
Well, weren't they the ones they called harbor lobster
Yeah,
or something?
no, I forget what they're called.
There was a name for
Rock
it.
lobsters.
Rock lobsters, yeah.
And they don't have any claws,
No,
so
they're all tail.
they're all tail. Yeah.
I guess we didn't have any when we were there.
Yes, we
but-
were.
Did we have some?
We went to that rock lobster factory.
Oh, right. I forgot about that. Yeah,
No, you're thinking about the Moreton Bay bugs.
that's what I was thinking of.
Yeah.
The bugs. Yeah. Yeah. So, oh well. I mean, we could have got.
Anita said she did. Anita said she went to see Star Wars, and afterwards she got subs.
Oh, probably just about as much fun as we had. So, what was the movie we're seeing? I mean, I'm so done with Star Wars. Bonnie says you can't beat lobster from the Atlantic provinces. Well, that's true.
That is true.
Absolutely true. We know we've had it. Well, we thought they had some of the grocery stores here had sales on for whole lobsters, but I think they all escaped because we went to one grocery store and the tanks were empty.
Yeah.
But we've had whole lobster here before too, and I'm not killing the suckers, live lobster. I just can't do it. So we
They'll
have.
steam them for you.
Yeah, well, that's how we've had them done.
Yeah.
They've been steamed at the grocery store. But the other thing about lobster, when you get it here, they're not usually very big,
No.
and they're pretty messy to eat. You spend most of your time cracking open the shells and stuff. Now, mind you, if I lived in the Atlantic provinces, I'm sure I would learn how to do it properly, because I know I don't do it properly. But I love fresh lobster.
I mean, we don't like fish,
No.
but we like lobster.
But Ontario is not the place to get lobster. The Atlantic provinces, yes, of course. And he
Alright.
says, I enjoy it, but I have not kept up with all the trilogy. A good friend hated. He said it did not make sense, but he was very invested in the whole thing. Yeah, I think now it's coming down to these days. You either really love Star Wars or you're really sick of it. I'm one of those ones that's really just sick of it because it always seems to me the same plot. But whatever. But that sounds like one way to do New Year's Eve too. I mean, we've done many different things over the years for New Year's Eve. And I think our best one was when we went to Australia and saw the fireworks, and we're at the Sydney Opera House and dinner, and you've heard that whole story, and there's stuff on my channel showing that night, actually. It was good. So anyways, that's all we did on New Year's Eve. So,
Oh, we sat out in the hot tub.
well, that's what I said. We sat out in the hot tub. We had a bottle of champagne, and actually we had 2 bottles of champagne, didn't we? Or did we have one?
Well, we had 2, but we didn't finish the second one.
No. So, but anyways, that was New Year's Eve. It's over with. Good. Came home from my art journaling class. Oh, it was a good class. They're a good bunch that are at that. Really, the class teaches itself. I don't teach them anything. I just facilitate, and they're fine with that. And they actually teach all of us, because somebody will come in with a new technique they're trying or a new project they've been working on, and it's really quite inspiring. So that was good. And yeah, so what else? That's about all that's been going on last week.
Yeah, I know. I'm all confused because when I came to the weekend, I kept thinking that we had steak a week ago.
No, it was just this last Tuesday. I know it seems like it was longer to New Year's Eve, but it wasn't. So, anyways, I got something on my screen. Okay, so what we got talking about that? Okay, oh yeah, newsworthy. So there's a big controversy right now. Our government, our provincial government, who looks after our health care, have decided they're no longer going to give you any kind of essentially travel insurance if you're outside of the country. Not that they covered quite a bit. I think they'd cover as much as, depending, if you're in the hospital, $400 a day of the expenses. So if you were down in the States, of course, that wouldn't even pay for the Jell-O that they give you. And there was something else if you were in and out kind of service, there was $25 a day or something like that. Well, there's a lot of Canadians, they're called snowbirds. They go down for like 4 to 6 months out of the year when it's cold up here, and they live in Florida. But they have OHIP, which we all pay into through our taxes. So they're all upset and are threatening to take the government to court. Well, get in line, because everybody's taking this government to court these days, saying that it's unconstitutional or something, or against the Ontario Health Act or something for them to do this. The Ontario government's coming back and saying it's really that amount of money anyways is useless and it's better put somewhere else. Well, in some ways they're kind of right, because that doesn't even scratch how much it could cost you in the States for health care if you're a Canadian and you're sick and you need hospitalization or to see a doctor. But on the other hand, we pay into it. So it's just another thing that the government is attacking. They always attack.
Well, not only that, the insurance plans that we buy have that insurance calculated into it. So now our insurance will go up in price too.
So yeah. So anyways, it's just another thing that this mini Trump government that we have here in Ontario is doing. And of course the teachers are ramping up because the kids go back to school on Monday, and the teachers are ramping up for the next round of fights with the government. And I think it's going to get pretty bitter pretty quick. It's already bitter.
What's this dessert, Hannah?
And California, Southern California.
Southern California.
Oh, Desert Nana.
Desert Hannah. Okay.
Yeah, new person. Welcome, Desert Nana. And Anita says, so what do people have to do? Well, out of your own pocket.
Or you have to buy your own travel insurance.
or you have to have, your own insurance.
I mean, most people do get travel insurance, but what I'm saying now is that probably the travel insurance companies assume that we already have that $400 benefit.
Yeah.
So we'll have to pay more.
And
And travel insurance, depending on you get a little bit older, can get quite pricey.
yeah, very pricey. So Desert Nana says, no, we thought it was way better up there. Well, healthcare is better here.
But they just don't cover out of province care.
Yeah,
Out of
country.
country care.
Yeah. So not that they covered a whole lot before, but it was more than nothing.
Yeah,
So,
like our regular health care is covered here. We don't have to buy insurance for that.
Yeah.
But if we travel outside of the country and we want health insurance, we have to. I do have a plan that I pay $11 a month, and it covers both of us for travel insurance.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, well, Desert Nana says insurance is unethically expensive here in the USA. Yeah, we know. We've heard that a lot,
Yeah.
which I still don't understand. And we've talked about this before, so we don't need to get into it today. But I still don't understand why there are people in the United States who are all about not having universal health care. I mean, it just seems to me that that's not right. You should have it. Any civilized country should have it. I mean, we pay enough in taxes. Of course, we probably pay more taxes than the average American pays, but then we get probably more for our tax dollar than the average American gets, maybe. Doesn't always seem like that to us, but who knows. So anyways, yep. So that's what our government's up to. What are we watching on TV? Witcher. Now, we watched the first 2 episodes. It's on Netflix, and apparently it's based on a series of books that were written by a Polish author back, I think, in the 80s or the 90s. They made made a video game out of it, or something. Several of them, actually. I guess that were very popular. So now they're doing this Netflix series. I'm kind of getting into it now, but it took about 4 episodes to do so because it's very confusing. And then I found out from a friend of mine who's majorly into the Witcher video games and stuff like that. He told me that there's a timeline. They go back in the past and then they're back to the present, and it gets very confusing. And if you didn't know the games, or if you hadn't read the books, you might be a little lost. But apparently there are some YouTube videos you can watch.
How much straw did you have?
What's that? I don't know. I think probably the blue one. Well, it's mine now. Did you gob in it? No. Okay. Oh, good shot. So, anyways, I'm kind of liking it now that I'm getting a little bit more into it. It's sort of on the line of kind of like Game of Thrones, but there's a lot of characters in it and a lot of things happening. There's monsters and things, and this Witcher character, he slays them and can do magic and stuff like this. So if you're into that kind of thing, you might like it. It's fantasy, of course. Anita says, my son had to go to the ER in November. He does not have health insurance. He was there 3 hours. They took blood and did a CT head scan. He was released to go home. The bill, $6,000 plus the ambulance bill of $900. Holy crap. I guess he might want to get insurance. But that's ridiculous. That's absolutely ridiculous. And can you spell it? Do you mean Witcher? It's just Witcher. Witcher. And it's on Netflix. So that's about the only thing we've been watching lately.
Well, we watched Dracula last
Oh, yeah. There's this mini-series called Dracula. It's based, of course, on the original book, but not. It takes place over, well, actually, there's only 3 episodes, and they're about an hour and a half apiece. And the last episode, we didn't finish watching it last night because I was falling asleep. Not because I was bored, I was tired. And it's taking place now in present time, but it started in 1897 or something. It's kind of good. I like it, although, now you said there was a bad review.
Well, there's some bad reviews about it, but according to the ratings, it had a 73% rating on it. It has some corny jokes through it. And stuff
yeah,
like
there's
that,
some humor to it that's, kind of tongue-in-cheek kind of humor, which I don't mind with it. But I think it's worth the watch.
Like they
Anyways,
keep asking Dracula, "Do you drink?" Like,
yes, and he
"Do you
goes,
drink?" He goes, "Not wine."
not wine. Yeah, and he's always got a glass full of red stuff, and you know what the red stuff is. Um, Anita says, I think tonight on TV is the Golden Globes. Yeah, that's right, it is. It's Golden Globes tonight. Um, but anyways, that's about all we've been watching. So that takes us to today's discussion, and the reason why we're having discussion. I called this episode Diet or Die because we talked last week about New Year's resolutions, making them or not making them, and keeping them and not keeping them. And one of the most popular resolutions is, yes, this year I'm going to go to the gym and I'm going to lose weight. I'm going to watch what I'm eating, I'm going to eat healthy, and I'm going to lose 30 pounds by the time March break comes up and I'm going to Florida and I want to get into my bikini. Yeah, and how many people actually stick to that plan? And we've been, well, since I've retired, I don't move as much like I used to. I mean, all day long when I was teaching school, I was on my feet. I was up and down hallways, stairways, everything like that. So, you know, it kind of kept your weight off. And I did exercise probably more than I do now. And I've been putting on the weight. And Chubby over here. But then Chubby over here, he told me he's lost how much?
Almost 30 pounds
In how long?
since June.
So in half a year, he's lost 30 pounds. So how does he do it, I ask. And he's got this thing called IF. Sent me an article about it this morning. So explain IF.
Intermittent fasting.
Okay.
Okay, so I don't eat, I try not to eat after 8 o'clock. Actually, try not to take any calories in between 8 o'clock and 12 the next day.
Yeah.
That means no calories. No, you can drink water, you can drink clear tea, and you can drink clear coffee. But, I mean, and I do cheat a bit on weekends, but I mean, it's slow. I've been slowly losing weight, but it's been because I haven't been eating anything at night. It really seems to make a difference.
Of course, it's easy for him not to start eating until lunch because he doesn't get out of bed until lunch.
Oh, come on, I get up before
With
then.
Yeah, really.
Last week I had a couple of days where I was late.
Yeah. You keep telling yourself that story and you'll believe it. So
But I still am up late,
yeah.
and I don't eat then.
Yeah, well, fine. So, anyways, I'm going to give this a try as well, and
Yeah,
just
plus
cut
I go
junk.
to the gym a couple of times a week, so.
Yeah, he goes a couple of times. I get 5 days a week. I'm on my treadmill. I've increased my time on the treadmill. I'm not a gym person because gyms frustrate me because you just don't go to do a workout there. It's like an event, a 2.5 hour
I like
event.
going because it feels social.
Oh, you get social, do you?
No, I don't really talk to too many people, but
So
I like
that's-
going and looking
okay, that's-
around and
Oh, yeah. Uh-huh.
seeing all the other weird people that are there.
Oh, looking at all the other fatties, are you?
Mm.
There's something up my straw.
The one that I'm going to is certainly a fatty gym.
But yeah, as Desert Nana says, slow and steady wins the race. Yeah, and other things that don't help are booze. Mind you, this is mostly fruit juice. There's not much booze in it.
Actually, it's not fruit juice. It's actually ground up fruit.
But I've been feeling kind of, well, first of all, I'm constantly having to pull up my pants because
It's not because you're scared they're loose. Why do you have to keep pulling your pants up?
my gut keeps pushing them down,
Oh, okay.
and I hate that feeling with it.
So I have a problem. My pants are loose these days.
Oh, really?
I
Oh,
gotta get tighter pants.
oh, you're just so skinny. Oh my God, I can't. Don't turn sideways. You'll disappear.
No, I'm not that skinny.
Right. Yes, for sure. But anyways, also I've been having some problems with acid reflux, although that seems to have gone away for the most part. But my biggest problem is my back. I think I figured out what the problem is with that. I think my running shoes had it. Well, I know they've had it. That I use on the treadmill. So on the weekend or on Friday, we went out to Sport Check, and I didn't know what kind of running shoes to buy because, when I was a kid, when you said you wanted a pair of running shoes, you got a pair of Keds, right? black and white ones, had them on, ran around all summer in these. No one cared. Now you go in, and there's 50,000 different types of athletic footwear, depending on what you're doing. If you're playing baseball, basketball, football, if you're a marathon runner, if you do cross training, whatever the hell that is.
That's supposed to be a variety of things.
Yeah, whatever. So, and then you get to the part that says running shoes, running. So I go to that section. Well, I have no idea. And these things can get quite pricey. And I didn't want to buy rock bottom cheap pair because, you know, that's not going to solve my problem. I need something that's got arch support and all that. So luckily, there was a young lady at this Sport Check, and I asked her, I said, are you, I need some help here. And I said, yeah, sure. And I says, I need a pair of running shoes, and this is what I'm looking for.
And you needed rubber soles.
I have to have rubber soles, not vinyl soles, because vinyl soles, I found out when you run or walk on a treadmill or run on a treadmill, they basically peel apart. That must be the friction or something between the belt on the treadmill and the shoes, because I was getting all this black stuff that was coming off. And I thought, what the heck is this? And so I went, this is back a couple of years ago, I went to another place that sells athletic footwear and stuff, and I was telling the girl about it. She says, oh yeah, she says, oh, you probably have vinyl bottoms. You can't use vinyl bottoms on a treadmill. She says, you need rubber because the vinyl just peels off. I went, okay, good to know. Didn't know that. So I said to the girl, I want rubber soles, and I said, she says, you want something with an arch support? And I said, well, I think I need that. She says, are you getting pains in your back? And I went, yes, I am. And she goes, well, she recommended ones with arch support, and there was some with gel kind of things in them, and then support for your ankles. So I tried on a couple of pairs, and I settled on a pair that were actually regular price. They said they were having a big sale. $219 for the pair, but they were on sale for $139. And I was prepared to pay up to about $200 because I know running shoes are expensive. So I haven't tried them yet. So tomorrow morning we'll be taking those little Virgin shoes and making them do their work. And I hope this is going to help with my back. My back does not hurt when I'm standing and walking. It hurts when I get up out of a chair, or if
then don't do that.
Then don't do that. Stand up all the time. Yeah, it's true. I need one of those sewing or one of those tables that lifts up so I could sew up here standing and everything like that. Actually, that might be part of it too. Is when I'm sewing, and you know, you're sewing for a lot of hours. I need to take more breaks from that. But when I get involved in a project, yeah. But anyways, I'm hoping that'll help. But I also think it would help if I lost some weight. And so I'm trying this if thing and just cutting back, like.
Well, you still have to. You can't just go hog wild and eat like tons of stuff during your eating window. You have an eating window between 12 and 8, and you still can't, like, you can't gorge yourself during that period of time because then you wouldn't lose.
Well, no, you don't. No, I read that in the article that you sent me. Bonnie
says she has the same issue when she is sitting and sewing a lot.
Yeah, well, I think that has contributed to it. So you just have to, I know that some people say what you should do if you're doing that kind of sewing, you should set your phone or your watch or something to beep every 45 minutes, to take a break every 45 minutes from what you're doing. Like get up, move around,
looks
stretch.
Like Bonnie goes to a chiropractor.
Yeah, you know, I don't know about chiropractors. My father always said, oh, they had friends that went to chiropractors. Oh, they're going to those quacks. And I don't know. If it helps you, then I say it's a good thing. I don't really want somebody snapping me in pieces or doing whatever. Then I've heard other people talk about the idea of having massages and that kind of stuff. I don't like massages. I've had one massage once in my life, and they stuck hot rocks down my underwear. Yeah, don't ask.
Well, that wasn't really a massage.
No, I don't know what that was. But I don't like somebody else touching me. Unless they're taking me out for dinner first and buying me a nice drink. And possibly
you don't have
flowers.
to have the snaps, Bonnie says.
Yeah, I wouldn't be having the snaps. But I don't think my situation is at that point where I need a chiropractor. I'm going to see if the new shoes, taking regular breaks from, you know, my sewing, and basically losing some weight because I think a lot of it is caused by I don't know how much I weigh. Actually, last time I went to the doctor, she likes to weigh you. We go every 3 months. I used to not go until every 3 years with my old doctor, but this one she's very thorough, and she makes me stand on the scales.
Yeah, Desert Nana says stretching. Yeah, you probably should.
Yeah, I probably should
Do some
stretch,
exercises when you get
but
up.
I've tried stretching and I'm still the same height. It doesn't seem to
do
work.
some stretches after you get off the sewing machine.
Yes, I probably should do that. And yes, okay, well, these are things I got to try because I really don't want this problem. I was talking to somebody today in my art journaling class about this, and they said, what's that? What my father had?
Slip disc.
No. What did they call
Sciatica?
that? Sciatica. Yeah, I said, yes, my father had sciatica, and I said, I don't think that's what this is, but who knows? I don't know what causes sciatica. I don't know if it's a hereditary thing. I hope not. So we'll see. But I would definitely, yep, that's it, Anita, sciatica. We'll see. I think if I lose the weight, it's definitely going to help overall health anyways. You know, this belly fat thing happening. So, yeah, I'm going to try. But I'm not going to go crazy on it all. But I'll just, there's a lot of empty calories you take in a day when you don't really think about it. Like I was eating a lot of peanut butter. I love peanut butter. Oh, peanut butter. Got to cut that out. Well, I have cut that out. So we'll see. So maybe in a month's time, I'll be just, you won't even see me. I'll turn sideways, I'll disappear, come back and be like magic. Yeah, that's happening.
Yummy.
And Dana says she's not getting any taller either. Hi, Dana. So anyways, but back to this whole thing, fitness thing. I made a few notes here. Okay, so I said everybody makes these resolutions. So Walter goes to a gym. And so what happens at this time of the year at the gym?
The gym gets really, really busy at this time of the year because everybody's made a New Year's resolution to lose weight or lose the weight they got gained at Christmas time. And that's when you see a lot of fat people at the gym. And they tend to stick around. The first couple of weeks, it's like mega busy. And then it slowly begins to die down till about March. And then after March, everybody, after that, it's about, goes back to pretty much normal again. And you see all the normal people there. And all the people the new people that you've seen at the gym suddenly have disappeared. You get the odd one that actually sticks to it. But
I used to hate
But then right
that.
now you get the people in there that you can tell a new one, they're walking around trying all the different machines. And then you get the odd person that tries the machines and expects the machine to work for them. Like expects the machine, other than the treadmill runs, right? It forces you to walk, right? But on all the other machines, you actually have to do the motion to get it to go, right? And some people seem to expect that the machines are supposed to move for you, and you just stand on them.
That just reminds me of the old ads way back in the 60s and 50s and that, where they had those machines with the belts on them, and they taught, melt away the fat without any effort. And the thing that used to jiggle your fat all around kind of a deal, and people would buy those.
Well, actually, Deborah, the one that I did stained glass at, her mother had a giant vibrator.
Really?
It was a machine you stood on, and all it did is vibrate, right?
Well, like that thing I bought my mother.
You just stand on it. It was a great big huge thing. It was like a treadmill, size of a treadmill, right? You stood on it, and the thing would just like vibrate like this, like really, really hard, really quick, right? And and it was supposed to supposedly force you to lose weight because your body would be constantly trying to regain their balance.
Well, remember that thing my mother saw it on TV and thought she should have it when she lived in the apartment. And it was a thing you put your feet on, and it sent an electric current up your leg and would make your muscles kind of contract and expand. And she said, oh yeah, because she thought that's when she was starting to have the problems walking, and she thought this would be of help. No, mother, just stand up and start walking would help you to walk. But I got her one of these suckers.
Yeah, and she used it maybe once.
Yeah, if ever that. I tried it once. It just about threw me across the room. I put my feet on it, like I had variable settings on it. I didn't have it that high, but it was like it repelled you, like from it. So I thought, okay, don't like this. But I couldn't see how that was going to do much for you. But and they weren't cheap. I think it was
Well,
about
that
$300.
doesn't make your muscles work. The whole idea that you can't walk
Yeah.
is because your muscles aren't working.
I know, but I mean, this is what
Yeah.
and of course, well, it had to be legit because Shoppers Drug Mart was selling them
Yeah, and she saw it advertised on
TV. But they were $300.
Yeah.
And I got one for her. So
Remember those things a few years ago that you had?
what things?
You had to put your hands and they shook your arms. Yeah.
Oh, you had them at your
Yeah. They were those weights.
Oh, that's right. They did. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure if people were using those at a gym, if the ladies were using them, that would probably make the guys happy because it wouldn't just be jiggling your hands. Floppy, floppy.
Well, I imagine they actually did do work a little bit because you had to actually.
Well,
but I mean, I don't see that they really would do a lot for you.
no. I mean, I still like using my treadmill. I always have, but I don't run on my treadmill. I walk. I walk very fast. And actually, I've been increasing the speed. I don't run because I don't want to have knee problems, for one thing. What?
You walk so fast, you're almost running.
Well, I do walk 4 kilometers an hour, but speed. But I've always been fast.
I've always had a hard time keeping up.
Yeah, well, you just drag him behind. We're out somewhere, and I look around. He's not there because he's 3 blocks behind me.
I just let him keep walking.
Yeah, well, here, bartender, fill up my fruit. I need my fruit. So, anyways, yeah, everybody makes that big resolution. Now, why do we make the resolution, or why do people want to do it? Because we feel so bloody stuffed after Christmas. What are you looking for?
Oh, nothing.
No. We're so bloody stuffed because everybody overeats at Christmas time. Word of advice, don't start a diet December the 1st. Not a good time. And there's always extra stuff, right? Like there's always chocolate around, and you might tend to, if you do drink anything, you probably drink a little bit more at Christmas time. And there's all kinds of like nuts and candy and whatnot. And you feel, by the time Christmas is over with, well, I feel like, okay, I've been a pig, I'm bloated. So that's the moment you make the resolution you're going to lose all this weight. Because when you're full, when you're in agony because you're so full of food, it's easy to say, yeah, I'm going to cut back. Until the next day when you're hungry again. And that kind of goes out the window. Jules says, does the picture look blurry to anyone else? We're watching what you're watching, and it looks clear at our end. You might be having a little bit of a dropout problem. Desert Nana says, looks good. Yeah, it might be your connection, or it could be anything. You never know with YouTube. Yep, so everybody's okay. Sorry, Jules. It's just you, I guess. Oh, whatever. Try not to squint. So I think that's why everybody makes this resolution with it. I did too. I mean, the year that I joined the gym, this is back a long time ago, I thought, okay, Walter was always going to the gym, so I joined the gym too, and we were going I was going 3 times a week.
Probably.
Or more.
I should go 3 times a week. I've only been going 2 times, but.
And I'd go after school, and this is what was giving me a problem. Yeah, I lost a lot of weight very quickly. I actually looked a little svelte. I was in my early 40s at that point. So, at that point in your life, you still have metabolism. At 60 plus, you don't have any metabolism anymore. It's gone, right out the window. And I was going on a regular basis. At one point, at the height of it, we were taking classes. We were taking dancer-size type classes or step classes, which were
they don't really do that anymore.
No, but they were fun. I mean, I really enjoyed those. But the problem I was having with going to a gym was it's giving me mental stress. Because I'd get there. First of all, I want to go right after school. Because I'm not a late night person. So I wanted to get it over with that was my first problem. Is to me going to the gym is not fun. I'd get there, have to change, get up to the machines, then you had to figure out which machine you were going to get on. Because depending on the time of the day you were there or whatever, they were all filled. And then they had a sign-up system. So you had to move around and find a machine. And then what I really hated were these people who would stand by a machine. They're really not on the machine, but they're having this long conversation. And so you'd stand there politely and wait to see if they were going to start using the machine, and they're still talking. So I'd go and I'd say to them, and I'm sorry, but usually it was two women doing this, okay? Sorry if that sounds sexist, but that was the reality. And I'd say, excuse me, are you going to use this machine? And they'd, yes, I am going to use that machine. Sorry, just wondering because you don't look like you're using it, but okay. So I had the stress of, I'm the kind of person I want to get in and I want to get out. Do my thing, move on. And I did some weight training as well. Yeah, that was a joke. So you get these, you sit there and you're lifting these weights, right? And then there's this guy beside you who's like out here, tattooed to the end. He's looking in the mirror and he's going, curl, curl. And he's basically got a midget in his hand as he's doing it because these things like what? They say 3,000 pounds on them. There I am, 15-pound weight. Yay, here we go. Wow, isn't this fun? And then you had to go and take a shower and you had to get changed and you get home. And it was like 2.5 hours of my life that I'd never get back again. So as time went on, I ended up doing like one step class a week. I wasn't even going into the gym. And it was kind of an expensive membership to be doing just one class. So I gave that up. And I had a Universal at home, which a Universal is a combination weight training machine, and you do things on it. You know, you've seen them. You sit on a bench and you pull things and whatnot. And I had that, and I used that pretty faithfully. And I also had an exercise bike. I've always had an exercise bike until the last few years. And I used to get on the exercise bike every morning. 4 o'clock in the morning, I was exercising before I went to school because I was too tired by the end of the school day to go to the gym and exercise or go home and exercise. So I'd do it in the morning. That might have been why I was tired after school was over, because I'd been up since 4 o'clock in the morning. And then I went to a treadmill, and I like the treadmill much better. I'm on my second treadmill over a period of 20 years or something like that, and I prefer the treadmill. It's low impact. Mine has programs on it you can follow, although I can make up my own and stuff like that. And that's what I've always used since. But in the last little while, I haven't been doing as much as I used to on the treadmill. So I'm trying to increase that by gradual stages over the next couple of weeks to get myself used to that. And what I like about my treadmill is it tells me how many calories I'm burning while I'm using it. So, you know, bottom line is for me, I'm going to try this if thing and just watch what I'm eating, he says as he's drinking his third martini. It's not really a martini. And, you know, not eat junk. Try to stay away from junk. Like fast food. Not that we used to eat a lot of fast food, but over the last year, we have had more of it than we usually do.
But I eat it too, and I still lose weight.
Oh, shut up. You're anemic. I don't know. Well, I mean, on occasion, that's all right, but we'll see.
Did we ever have a Jason from the Australian?
No, he's new. Hi, Jason. Yeah, I just saw this morning. I got a new subscriber.
Oh.
Jason, the Australian. So, Jason, are you actually an Australian? Because Australia, we love Australia. And we hope there's enough of it left for the next time when we go. And he says, I don't drink, but if I had known that we in the U.S. were going to get blown up in the new year, I would have really celebrated New Year's Eve.
Well, hopefully that won't happen.
Yeah, hopefully.
Because we live too close to the U.S.
Yeah, so if it gets you, it's going to get us. Yeah, and
Bonnie was thinking the same thing. She lives 30 minutes
from the U.S. border. Yeah. Well, is that all about the the whole Iran thing and Trump bombing them. I don't know. I don't understand what's going on over there. What like, who's right, who's wrong? Who's the enemy? Who's the good guy? I don't get it.
Anita says she lives half an hour away from the military base.
Oh, okay. You might want to move, Anita. Yes, you stay safe too. I live close to the Canadian base, 40 minutes away. Hopefully it'll be okay. They won't blow up a Canadian base. There's nothing there to blow up.
Bonnie says to eat,
Eat clean.
yeah.
Now, when you say eat clean, you're not talking about that whole food, raw diet kind of thing, are you? Or are you just talking about basically eating what's in the food guide?
Good quality stuff.
Like good stuff, like fresh vegetables, when you can get them, and stuff like that, and cut out the junk. You said, I think this year when my critical voice in my head tries to talk me out of something, I'm going to say to myself, do it anyway. Yeah. Yeah, I try to talk myself out of all kinds of things that I should do. And just do it. Just do it. No, just fresh, Bonnie says, is what it means. Yeah. The problem with, well, we eat a lot of fresh stuff. We usually do. We don't eat a lot of canned foods or
and fat. What she means is no fast food and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We don't tend to eat a lot of fast food. We'll eat. We'll go to a restaurant and eat restaurant food. But a lot of times instead of fries, we get salad and stuff like that. So.
Yeah. Bonnie says her motto for 2020 is Carpe Diem. Yeah. Who's got a word? Tomorrow on my vlog, what I'm pissed off with, I am going to talk about this whole thing about picking your word for the year to live by. That's all I'm going to say about it. You'll have to tune into the vlog when it gets posted to find out why it pisses me off, because that's not today's discussion. Back on fat. So, we talked about the newbies at the gym. We talked about overeating at Christmas, which makes you more...
Anita has a word.
Oh, it's I have a word. Is it a nice word? Because if it's not a nice word, I have a nicer word I could use. But no, yeah, Bonnie Bonnie says, "What is it? Is that Anita? Cherry, which is Anita." Oh, yes, it's a nice word. She says, oh, "Okay, well, okay. You're keeping us in suspenders here. What is it?" Let us know. Come on. We're not moving on, Anita, until you tell us what the word is.
Believe.
Oh, what?
Believe is the word.
Oh, it hasn't come up on mine yet. Oh, it's coming up faster than yours. Believe. Okay. Not a bad word. Great song by Cher, one of my favorites. Okay, but I'm going to talk more about my feelings about words to live by. Anyways, you get a hint already how I feel about it because it's in my pissed off section tomorrow. So back to losing weight. Okay, so why do people want to lose weight really? Is it for appearance's sake or is it actually for health? Everybody says it's for health, but I'll bet you the most people want to lose weight, it's more not just for health, it's for how they look. And that's when all the many different types of diets I've been on over the years or tried over the years or ways to lose weight, that's basically what it is. Appearance. Because you don't want to look like a fat little piggy. But I have a surefire way how you will always never look fat, no matter what size you are. First of all, you find people to hang out with that are much fatter than you, uglier than you, and stupider than you. You will be a star. So it's not a question of losing weight, it's a question of picking your friends and picking those that are just ugly and fat to hang around with. And Bonnie says, at 67, I don't care about what you think anymore. I'm doing it for health. Yeah.
Yeah, well, when you get older, a lot of people do it for health.
Yeah, well, it's because we figured we were off the bandwagon. Once you're over 40, you're old, apparently, by the next generation standards. But, yeah, but I am doing this for health because I don't feel that comfortable in my own skin right now. And I know it's because I'm carrying around this spare tire in here. And my family kind of tends, the males in my family have always tended to go a little bit on the blubbery side. So, yeah.
Anita's doing it because she's a type 2 diabetic.
Oh, okay. And I will also lower my risk. Yeah. And also, I'm doing it for my heart as
And I've
well.
always been close to my blood sugar has always been a little high, but not. I wasn't classified yet as a type 2 diabetic, so
Yeah.
that's another reason for losing weight.
It's just sad that in our society today, the way our lifestyle is that it's makes it a real chore to lose weight. I mean, back in the days, 150 years ago, when everybody was living on a farm, I don't think they had a lot of problem with being fat because they were working all the time and, eating their own vegetables and things like that. So they didn't have to think about it. They just ate what they wanted, did what they wanted to do because they were constantly burning calories.
Actually, everything I've read about intermittent fasting, it's one of the things that people, well, they don't recommend it if you are diabetic, but if you're pre-diabetic, it's one of the things they recommend to keep your blood sugar down. To do this.
Yeah, well, I read that article you sent me, and that's one of the things they said about it. So, yeah, there's no doubt about it. Losing weight is good for your health. Simple as that. Bonnie says she has a mother, brother, and a niece and nephew who are diabetics. Yeah. Andy says, I went to a trainer for 2 years to get in shape for 50-mile charity bike ride to celebrate my 50th birthday. So I'm assuming that worked out okay for you, Andy.
Mm-hmm.
Anita says, I lost about 12 pounds recently, and my A1C below 6 to 5.8.
That's her blood sugar.
Oh, okay. Doctor was worried I was getting too low. So I got to decrease one of my daily meds. That's probably
okay.
a
I'm
good thing.
not sure if your blood sugar measurement works the same as here, because if you're at 5.8, you're considered still a little on the high side. Here.
Yeah. Is that how it works? I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't have that problem, apparently. My doctor's just concerned about my pulse rate, which I keep telling her it's always been high. But she keeps, pumping me with pills, and it's not doing any good. And I don't want to take the pills. It's one reason why I don't want to really mention to her about my back until I figure this thing out, see if the shoes or whatever is going to help with it. Because my father had back problems, and he had a back operation, and they just mucked him up any further. And I haven't heard of a lot of people that have had successful back operations with it. So I'm not going that route with it. Andy says, worked out really well. I want to make sure I didn't injure myself. Yeah, I'm sure you wouldn't want to do that. I have a 70-year-old friend who's working with a trainer. Yeah, I know lots of people swear by trainers and that, but trainers are pretty expensive. But then again, I suppose they're supposed to know what the right thing is for you to do so you don't injure yourself and, you get the most benefit out of whatever exercises you're doing. But I don't know.
I'm not sure what the is it ATC?
No,
or
A1C, isn't it?
A1C is. For us, it's if it's your blood sugar you're talking about. For us, it's they don't like you to be above. They want you to be at least below 7. That's the old way of rating things, but they like you to be below 6, and anything below 6 is considered good. So
Okay.
last time I tested it at 5.6.
Yeah, well, I don't know what mine is. Anita says A1C is a 3-month reading.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not sure.
So I'm not sure how it works, and I don't know anything about any of this stuff my doctor tells me. I just go, yeah, whatever. I'll take the bloody pill.
Okay, I'm not sure. Okay, I'm not sure what my blood test. I get a sugar blood test every 3 months.
Hmm.
So
Oh, you're not sweet enough? What?
No.
I don't know.
And I'm
So,
always borderline, but the last time I was 5.6, which was considered good. So
yeah. So our reasons for weight loss right now is primarily health, but definitely I would like to have my pants fit better. I can say that. I would like to have my pants stay up. And it's not because I've gotten skinny and they're dropping off. It's because my belly is pushing the damn things down. And I find it very uncomfortable. And I'm constantly pulling up my pants. Now, if I was 30 years younger, 40 years younger, that would probably be a good thing because I could show my underwear and run around like I look like a penguin, like these young lads do. That gangsta look or whatever. But I'm
buy
not,
some
and I won't.
suspenders.
Yeah, I thought about that. Nothing says old age like a pair of suspenders, right? With that. And then people were talking about shrinking earlier. Yeah, I've shrunk too. I used to be 5'6", but I think I'm about 5'5" now. I don't know. But that's because your body compresses. Apparently, your backbone and everything, I don't know, whatever. So, like I said, stretching's not going to help. I won't get any taller. Tried it. So, then I had down here, what have we tried in the past? Well, my very first time I went on a diet was in university. You probably heard the, what do they call it, the 15-15 or 20-20, which is your marks from high school when you go in your first year of university drop about 15%, and your weight goes up about 15 pounds or more. Yeah, mine did. Actually, both things happened to me. I remember seeing a picture of me sitting in a chair in somebody's room, and there was one of the girls up there, I don't know, we were probably drinking, was sitting on my lap. Well, she wasn't really sitting on my lap, she was sitting on my gut. So when I saw that picture, I went into like shock. And I thought, okay, I'm going to lose weight. So I read something that said if you drink a hot stimulant like coffee, drink it black, every day, it will suppress your hunger. And actually, that article you sent me today said that about stuff. And so that's when I started drinking coffee. I hadn't up to that point in my life ever drank coffee. I didn't like it. So I started to drink black coffee. I drank a lot of it. And I cut back, way back, to the point that within about 2 months, I lost the weight and more. And my parents had come up to see me, and my mother just about shit. She says, have you been sick? Because I was that thin. And I got new pants out of it. It took me shopping. But new jeans. But then ever since then, I've been up and down for years. Now, I'm not a major pig. But ideally, I'd like to weigh about 160 pounds. And I don't think I'm ever going to see that again. I think the heaviest I've ever been has been about 190. I think the last time the doctor weighed me, and it was with my clothes on, so there's 25 pounds right there of clothes, really. I mean, shoes alone, 10 pounds a shoe, right? Add fluffy socks, that's another couple of pounds. And then underwear is really heavy. It really is, I think she weighed me at about 187. She said I was down a pound from the last time. Yay, and I hadn't been doing anything. I'm hoping that we go to the doctor at the end of the month. So she'll weigh me again, and I'm hoping it's down a little bit less than that. I have not got on scales except in her office. I find them depressing. You think you're doing really well and the whole bit, oh, I probably lost a whole lot here. You get on the scale and go, what, I gained a pound? How'd that happen? So, and then I know people always say you should judge it by how well your pants fit. When I was in university and when I started teaching, I had a 30-inch waist. I also had a 30-inch inseam. I no longer have a 30-inch waist, and my inseam shrunk. That's what I mean. That's how I know I'm shrinking. My inseam's about 28 inches now.
Well, I had a 32 inseam, and now I'm 30, so.
So you've shrank too.
Yeah.
With it. I'm shrinking. I'm melting.
Anita was saying about the guys that wear pants down to their knees.
Oh, where? Oh, yeah. Well, the kid. Yeah, I mean that's just a stupid
And
look.
she says you want to run up and pull them down.
Yeah. Well, the best part was when I was teaching school, watching these guys with their pants way down there and their ugly underwear hanging out, with them all trying to go upstairs. It was like watching a bunch of penguins, the whole bit. It was just stupid. They're still wearing them that way. In fact, the other night, I don't know if you noticed, but when we were in at Kelsey's, the guy that was sitting up at the bar that came in after us,
Oh, I didn't notice.
yeah, his underwear's hanging out like
Oh.
of it, and he was probably in
Yeah, I
his
have
30s.
noticed that they're still doing that. So
I mean, really, I don't really care who made your underwear. I don't need to see it. Thank you very much.
and it can't be comfortable walking around. And the other part of the problem is that they were buying up really large sizes of pants.
Yeah,
And
they
then-
buy
and
huge.
then when us larger people were looking for pants, right? You can't get any because
No.
all those sizes were gone. Only the really skinny ones were there.
Hi, Jody.
Though some guys are wearing now also those skin tight jeans.
Yes, I know. Oh, and actually, I don't think. Well, first of all, you got to be a skinny person to be able to get into them. But I don't think the look, the shape, because it accentuates your rear end and your hips. So if you're somebody with a little bit, you're a little hippier on it, it looks like all I can think of. Do you remember on Bugs Bunny when they used to do with Daffy Duck and they had instant Martians? They had a little machine. They put this little thing in. It said just add water. And there was a little pill came out. And they put a little drop of water, and this thing that looked like a pear with little tufts on the top of the head came around. I call those kind of people. They look like instant Martians all the time. We use that a lot actually on the time. So Jody says, I've given up coffee, bread, pasta, rice, processed food, carbonated beverages since September. I think I've really figured out what works for me. A glass of water and a toothpick, dear, because that sounds about all you've got left to pick from. But, well, when you say carbonated beverages, I'm assuming you mean stuff like pop, like Coke, or as you Americans would call it, soda, like Pepsi, Coke and that stuff. That's something I don't drink a lot of, and if I do drink any of it, it's usually diet ginger ale.
Oh, I drink a lot of club soda.
Yeah, but that doesn't have sugar in it.
No.
I mean, it's not the carbonation that does it. It's the sugar in those drinks that does it to you. Yeah, the hard things to give up are the bread and the pasta and the rice. Yeah. But I love those things. Coffee, well,
Well, it depends. Some people drink a lot of sugar and
Yeah.
other stuff in their coffee. If I drink coffee, I drink it black. But actually, since I retired, I tend not to drink very much coffee. I might have a cup in a day.
yeah, I only drink usually about 1 cup a day. I might have 2 cups in the morning, that's it, and I don't drink it later in the day. And I've never put anything in it. I always drink it black. Like I always said, once you've had black, you never go back. So, and Jody says no desserts either. I know. Well, we don't eat a lot of, we don't have dessert with a meal.
No, but you like butter tarts.
I have not had a butter
Yes,
tart.
you have.
When was last time I had a butter tart?
Before Christmas, you bought a bunch of butter tarts.
I did not.
Yes, you did.
I did not.
And then date squares and date turnovers.
Well, I still have some of those in the fridge. Oh, yum, date squares. I made them. Yeah, okay, fine. Yeah, and who eats all this black licorice? Salted black
Yeah, well,
licorice.
no, I don't usually have it in the house. I only had some at Christmas time.
Big bags of it. Mm-hmm. Your little cookie with your coffee in the afternoon.
No, I'm allowed that.
Oh, are you allowed that? Okay, whatever. Yeah. Fine.
You can't cut out absolutely everything because then you'll end up craving it.
Yes, I know. Anita says it seems to work out better for people is you give up one thing at a time and replace it with a healthier choice. Yeah, that's probably an idea.
I think the good thing, I don't know, I think everything's in moderation. You don't have to give up everything because if you do, you'll begin to miss it.
Bonnie's turning on me. She's siding with you. She says, yes, you did. I remember that episode with the talk of butter tarts.
Mm.
Bonnie, you traitor. Laura says, busted. Yeah, I'm
But
busted.
a lot of times when we go to a restaurant, something will come with fries, and a lot of times I'll get a salad.
Well,
instead.
I've stopped that. I usually get salad with
salad?
it. No, I
Getting-
get a salad with it. Well, it's easy when we go to that one place because their fries suck. So I never order
Yeah.
fries there. But yeah, true. All the things that one loves and you can't have. So we tried. Okay, so I said about way back my first diet, right? Then I got diagnosed with high cholesterol. It wasn't extremely high, but my first time I got diagnosed, that was about 30 years ago. And I didn't want to take any pills for it. So I said to my doctor, well, okay, can I do this with diet? And he says, oh, yeah. So we went on sort of a low-fat diet. I was finding recipes and things like that, for making things without fat. We cut out, cheese and milk and...
Well, we lost weight then because we were a lot younger then.
yeah, we were. It was easier to do that. And then as the years went by, I eventually went on cholesterol pills for it. And we even tried, remember the cabbage soup diet?
Well, yeah, and then, no, when we were eating fish too.
Oh, we were trying to eat fish. No, I hate fish. No, we went on this thing. A friend of mine, another teacher, her mother was a nurse and had this diet you only went on for it for a week or 5 days, but you basically made all this cabbage soup.
I thought it was a 10-day diet.
Well, it might have been. I don't
Okay,
remember now. Jeez, whatever.
Yeah, and then one day all you ate was bananas.
Oh yeah, there was some of that. I forgot about there was some banana. But you ate this cabbage soup every day. Now it was a very tasty soup, but every day for 10 days or whatever it was, you sort of lost your taste for that one. And yeah, you lost weight because essentially you were drinking broth, and that was it.
Anita says, yeah, she remembers the cabbage soup.
Yeah. Yeah, yuck. I can't. Nita can't stand cabbage. Yeah. So, but that doesn't. It's a lifestyle thing you've got to do. I mean, I know that you've got to get yourself into good eating habits, and then it'll look after itself. But
then you end up falling off the wagon and going back to bad eating habits.
well, it slips up on you. It creeps up on you. You think you're being careful, and then you start to say, "Oh well, I can just have one of those, just so because I've been good all week." And then it comes, "I'll just have a couple. They're small." Or, those cookies are broken, so all the calories have run out of them. Everybody knows that you can have as many broken cookies as you want because there's absolutely no calories in them because they've all leaked out. That's a no-brainer right there with it. Yeah, and then next thing you know, you're stuffing back a second Big Mac. So, there you go. Yeah, so we'll see how this one works out. Maybe we will become, next time you see us, we may be just swelled. Yeah, I'm not expecting that. But I really don't want to have to go out and buy a bra. So, A cups, people. A cups. Well, do your boobs hang low? Do they wobble to and fro? My grandmother used to eat anything she wanted at a meal, but only half of it. Yeah, my mother has a really great diet routine. She puts food on her plate, takes one fork full of peas, pushes the rest aside, and says, "I'm full." And
Okay, so then you take a double portions, and they only eat half of it.
Yeah, yeah. There's that one too. They used to say use a smaller dinner plate because it'll fool you into thinking that you're eating more, but you've actually cut down. Yeah, that doesn't work. You just heap it taller onto it. And then they talk about the portions on your plate, like 2/3 of it should be covered in vegetables and 1/3 is your meat or something like that. And what's the keto diet thing? That's all what?
I think that's sort of like the Atkins diet where I haven't really looked at it, so I don't know. I think it's all like, it's all protein and no carbs and stuff like that.
But we love the carbs. The carbs are the good food. Say, sure, if you want to sit around all day munching on a carrot, but or celery stalk, which I am doing. Bonnie says, Walter, it's like the Atkins.
Diet, yeah. It's mostly meat. You're allowed to have high fat and low carb, which I can't personally think.
I don't know how that works.
And not only that, I think it's something you won't stick to.
No.
Because because I think you'd get bored of it pretty quick.
So it's keto is low to no carb, according to Laura. So I don't know. All these types of diets probably work in the short term, but it's maintaining that kind of thing. I think the only way you're going to lose weight is you have to be very conscious of what goes in your mouth and when it goes in your mouth. And you got to keep yourself moving. You got to do some form of exercise. And you have to be realistic about it. There's no way I'm ever going to be a 30-inch waist again. That's never going to happen. But I really don't want to be a 40-inch waist. I am not a 40-inch waist right now. I'm a very tight 36 and a half. Possibly bordering on 38. But it's hard to tell because these manufacturers of clothes anymore, I swear that a pair of 38s is the new 36. I don't know. Nothing fits the way it used to fit. Okay, that could mean because my body's not, but whatever. Make a lifestyle of eating healthy and exercising. Yep. Can't go wrong with that. Just have to stick to it. That's all.
Yeah, weight loss and makeup is
What?
one of the largest money makers today.
Oh yeah, that's for sure. But anyway, so we'll see. We're going to give it a try and do our best with it, and just keep in mind it's for health.
Yeah, we all
Too.
get sucked in.
Yeah, we all get sucked in. Of course we do. So anyways, yep, that's what we want to say about diet and weight loss, and we'll see how this all works out. We'll keep you informed of it. And by the way, today's snacks were healthy. They were raw vegetables and a little hummus. And we didn't eat very much hummus, see? Very little hummus. How much is in this anyways? Hummus I thought was fairly low.
Well, that's commercially produced hummus is not as delicious. If I made it myself.
Oh yeah, well you didn't make it yourself, did you? 2 tablespoons have 70 calories. Not horrible. But since we're men and we're only supposed to take in, what, 2,100, 2,200 calories a day or something? Joyce says, what's the name of the diet you're going to try? It's just called...
You can look it up on the internet. It's fairly easy. It's called intermittent fasting. Okay? There's different versions you can do. It's basically you have to fast for a period of time. The most common one is you eat for an 8-hour window, anywhere from 12... from 12 till 6 is a common. You can do any 8-hour window you want, but most commonly it's 12 to 8. You can eat anything you want within reason. It's more or less. You still gotta watch your calories a bit. You can't pig out for those 8 hours, and then after 8 o'clock, you don't take any calories in until noon the next day. So. You can drink water, you can drink clear tea, you can drink coffee, but clear coffee. Black coffee, and any other thing that has, as long as it has 0 calories, till 12 the next day, and the next day you just eat again normal again. At first, I've been doing it for a while now, at first you're really hungry for that, the 16-hour part of the day that you fast, right? But after a while, your body gets used to it. Now I don't even get hungry until noon the next day. So.
Oh, well.
And apparently, I've done a lot of reading on it. It's fairly, it's not really a fad diet. It's been around for a long time. It's just a lot of people actually just do it instinctively. They do it instinctively or whatever. And actually, your bodies are geared to be like that because of. In caveman times, you only ate whenever you got food.
So basically, we're not long out of the trees,
right.
Is what you're saying.
But
okay.
The other way you can do it is it's called 5 and 2, which you eat normally for 5 days, and 2 24-hour periods you don't eat, which is a little harder.
Yeah. Yeah, I've tried the fasting thing many years ago, and yeah, it didn't work out that well. And Jody says, I think that's what I'm doing that without knowing it. I eat between 8 a.m. and 4 p.m. Yeah, so that would be about the same.
Yeah.
Probably, yeah.
I mean, it doesn't have to be exactly an 8 hour period. It can be, some people can do it like have a 10 hour window where they eat, and then a 14 hour window where they fast. It's just that it's not, it won't be as effective maybe or something like that. But you can if you can do it, you can do a lookup for, it's called intermittent fasting. Look it up on the internet. There's tons and tons of articles on it.
Yep.
And they've written all kinds of books on it and stuff.
Well, one time what I was doing, I kept charts. How many calories I was burning, I had it down, and how many calories I was taking in, and I always tried to burn more calories than what I was taking in. And yes, that will make you lose weight, and it also drives you completely bloody because you're writing all this stuff down. And that's one of the types of diets they recommend. They recommend that you take a week before you start the diet and you have a little journal and you write down everything you've eaten that day for a week. And then the next week you start the diet and you start to cut out some of those things in the list. And eventually you'll change your eating habits and you'll get adapted to it and you'll lose weight and you'll feel better and all that stuff. And in theory, that sounds really good because it's very scientific sounding. In reality is you can't keep that up. Like Weight Watchers does the point thing, right? And I think they're constantly improving that and changing how they do it. Now, a friend of ours we know, he was very, very heavy, and he did Weight Watchers, and it worked for him. He lost a lot of weight with it, but he was constantly counting points. Well, I can have this, but I can't have that, or if I carry this one, like it became a mathematical nightmare kind of a thing. And when he was doing it, and
At least with this, you don't really have to watch so carefully, and you can. I mean, and sometimes it doesn't work out for me on a weekend or something like that. My window's a little longer or whatever. But I mean, it's sort of. It's not. I find it's easier to do. It's sort of like a modified eating pattern, I guess.
Yeah, well, that's what it is. It's changing your eating pattern, actually. And Bonnie says every food plan has a book and all claim to be the best. That's why we're making the weight loss industry so rich. Yep, that's true. Yeah, I guess you just have to find whatever works for you. And you do have to make a conscious effort of doing it as well. And then maybe if you do it for long enough time, it becomes second nature to you and you don't even have to think about it. That's my theory, and I'm sticking to it. So anyways, getting on here with time. So what do we got coming up? Well, next Saturday is the Ultimate Sewing Open House. That's when we get there bright and early and stand in line, possibly freezing our buns off, although lately the weather's been fairly balmy here for the winter. And so we can sign up for the classes that we want to take. And right now I'm saying there's only one class that I want to take, and I probably will take more than that. And we're supposedly going to have lunch at my sister's next Sunday with my first cousin. We were supposed to do that before Christmas happened, but we had
Before New Year's.
or before New Year's. But there was this threat of an ice storm and something, and he was coming from a place, I think I mentioned it last week, where it would make driving very difficult. So we've rescheduled it for then. So we'll see how that works out. That's about the highlight of our life this coming up in the week. Nothing else, is there? No, that's about it. Whoa, we're so exciting. So anyways, I think we'll sign off at that because it is now 6:18 our time, and we can't eat after 8. You know, it's like gremlins. Don't get them wet, and don't feed them after midnight. So we've got to get on with din-dins. And yeah, so tune in to my vlog tomorrow to hear about my word of the year, which has got probably 4 letters in it, possibly 2 words in a row, and why I hate the word of the year thing and other topics. So everybody have a good what's left of today, and have a good week, and tune in tomorrow when it comes posted on my vlog, and we'll see you next week for Stephen and Walter Live, and we'll be so much skinnier for it. Say goodbye, Walter.
Goodbye. Have a good week.